What's up guys, welcome back for another DevPro Duel video. A hybrid between Chronomalies and artifacts. Is it possible? Yes, definitely, as you will see in the duel videos. I tried it out first with triple Moralltach, the blue one that destroys monsters on the field when special summoned. And of course triple Theosophy, the Call of the 100 from the deck. And also with double YGOpro, the red one, and 3 movements. I later dropped the movements for regular MSTs and dropped the YGOpros for other cards. It will be more clear in the duel videos why I made that choice. Not going to waste any more time. The first game of the video. Opponent is playing Lightsworn, and the first thing you want to do is, if you're playing Chronomaly, I think you know, is to open with the disc. Disc is basically their straddles, so I normal summon the skull and discard the other skull to search out the disc and pass. And he has an amazing opening hand, playing Lightsworn, immediately milling off a few cards right off the bat. Send the Eclipse to his grave, banish the JD, then banish the Blaster eventually with Prison. So, because I know he probably has another Dragon Rule in grave, I think. The Tempest, as you will see in a moment, that he will get his Judgment to his hand. So I have to make Gorgonic Guardian, which is going to lure out, so I'm forced to activate it. He will get 2-4 damage, he's dropped to 3000 life points, which I obviously have to horn his Judgment Dragon. And there is a second one which will run into the Phoenix Chain. And now he's forced to normal summon his Lyra to destroy the Phoenix Chain, so I lose my whole field. But yeah, as you see in my hand, I do have the second bones, and he only has 1k life points left. So no Moralltach in this scenario. Yeah, Moralltach in this scenario would be cool, destroying through the Judgment Dragon's effect and eventually special summon itself to destroy the JD. Next, Mermails. So we set my whole back row, no disc opening hand, so I'm forced to pass. Also no other Chronomaly monster to summon, and I'm a bit lucky. Yeah, he targets my set Moralltach with Marksman, so Moralltach is special summoned, interrupt his play, destroy his Mermail, his Theos, then attack into probably his face down Linde, set another movement. Movement is their MST, the themed MST. Then he's going to, I was thinking for a long time if I should finish Chain or not. And eventually I didn't, since I thought this back row was a sphere. So I let him attack first with this Linde, take 1-5, and then I would have activated Call of the 100 targeting my Moralltach in grave. So I can, Moralltach will be special summoned and then destroy the Abyss, the Megalo. So then I would not have taken that much damage. Now pretty much it was obvious that he would go for the rank 8 Exceed. So I have to horn it, and here I make a misclick. I want to go for Pleiades to just attack over the pike and pass. But I misclick into Volcasaurus. So I have to overlay for Gaia and deal some more damage. So I'm forced to finish Chain his Diva, and he's not going to Synchro Summon for Catastor. And he's just going to leave the Diva in attack position. And that's a minor mistake on his part, so now I can easily go for game. So he has Special Summon Bones. That finally gives me the Chronomaly monster I need, so search out the Jet, I believe. And I eventually make Zero Lancer for game. The next opponent is playing Scraps. I think I get to start, Duality into, I believe, the disc. Other cards are a warning. Very tempting to take the warning, but disc is the primary card you want. So normal summon the disc, and I believe set the MST. So I see this playing Scraps, so he searches out his field spell. And he's going to activate his field spell and special summon Orthros, and obviously when Orthros is summoned that way, he gets to destroy one scrap on the field. So chain to his effect, so he loses his field spell and loses his Orthros in the process. He sets one back row. He's not going to waste his lens and attack over my disc, which is a good play of course. The back row was kinda scary, so that's why I go for Omega, set the Phoenix Chain and pass. If he has some kind of way to get over the Omega, I have both Crystal Bones in hand to make Gorgonic Guardian for example, and with Jet go for either rank 4 Exceed. And here he again makes a minor mistake, I think. He could go for, I believe, Scrap Twin Dragon, but he eventually goes for Arc Knight. I don't think it would have mattered in the long run. But I think going for the Scraptron was maybe a better choice. So yeah, this should be... yeah, no, I make a minor miscalculation here again. Yeah, put this Golem to 0 attack, deal some burn damage, and eventually put him at 300 life points, I think, yeah. So set the Mirror Force, minor miscalculation on my part. Luckily it didn't matter that much, so GG. And the next opponent is playing Constellar, so activate Duality again. Looking at my hand, no disc, so I have to normal summon my Jet and activate Skull to search out the disc. Set 3 and pass. One of them is Moralltach, so hopefully the opponent will MST it, since that is most of the time. Yeah, obviously if you draw you don't want to draw your Moralltach, and if you draw it you can just set it in the hope that your opponent will either MST or Gorilla or Dust Tornadoes it. So I finish Shane his Omega, and Shane's to his effect. A strange move again on his part. So I make Pleiades, activates effect in main phase 1. So if he activates Failure or Finish Shane I can still overlay for Messier 7 and try to attack over his Omega. And it's also strange that he did not activate his Dark Hole here to remove the Pleiades from the field. He'd rather go for Volcasaurus. Again strange, since I can just chain my Pleiades to bounce back the Volcasaurus. And yeah, obviously chain Pleiades to the Dark Hole so I can get my Phoenix chain back. Again, make some nice pluses with the disc, and yeah, the Moralltach is still sitting on the field. That's like obviously one of the downsides from running the engine. And I'm like, okay, he's going to activate MST, but obviously they always, when they have MST, they always miss your Moralltach. Very few cases, very few scenarios where the opponent actually MSTs your Moralltach or your Theosophy. So next my opponent is playing, I think, the ZW Utopia deck. So normal summon disc and to go to max C for the +1, since he's going to exceed for Utopia. So that was obvious that he was playing some kind of sexual weapon deck based on Utopia. Phoenix Chain, so he cannot negate the attack from Hayuk during my turn. So search out the disc again. And thanks to his Maxi, I pretty much have a very nice opening hand. The Tragodia is dropped, no big of a deal. Set the Phoenix Chain, set the Theosophy. Theosophy lets me interrupt pretty much any play. Not going to activate Phoenix Chain here. Activate Theosophy, special summon special summon the Moralltach from my deck, so I can destroy his what is it called? Esther Drawn, I believe, or Star Drawing, yeah. Then normal summon Jet, make Volcasaurus, and probably I thought I was going to attack for game, but he has a Gorus, so I lose, I think, 2,500 life points, yeah, from burn damage. Eventually he drops to 1,400 life points, but yeah, he top decks into an instant fusion. Not going to help him. So yeah, as you saw, the Theosophy is pretty sweet to interrupt any kind of your opponent's plays. Next, my opponent is playing Galaxies. Also, they got some very nice support. Activate movement to destroy his phase down back row. Don't want to run into a solemn warning. Finish Chain, but yeah, it's pretty much the same. If I would have summoned my my disc, he would have finished chained, and I chained the movement. He's going to special summon his Soldier. Soldier searches out, I believe, a Galaxy Knight from his deck. So that's why I Finish Chain. Finish Chain his summon, and here he was going to exceed for a rank 5, so I hope that he was going for what is it called, the Zenmayo, to destroy 2 phase down back rows, but he didn't. He goes for 0 Lancer, and yeah, because of Gorgonic Guardian he eventually scoops. So again, the artifact's not paying off. Next, Gravekeepers, so normal summon disc, search out the Skull. Skull searches out disc, the sweet, the nice engine. Make a minor risk here, setting the Beotech. Probably should have just kept it in my hand. Yeah, so obviously going to exceed for Pleiades, since he probably has the face down Spy and Warning set. I think I'm pretty safe, pretty good hand. Although, obviously, as pretty much all the Gravekeepers do, they draw into their Royal Tribute, so I lose my whole hand. Although I do have the field spell to get rid of his Necro Valley, so just in case I draw into the Bones to reborn the Skull from my grave, I can use my field spell to get rid of his Necro Valley. Yeah, just going to keep my field spell. He's going to, normal summon his Assailant and attack into my open field, so I activate Theosophy to destroy his face-up Necro Valley, since I can easily get rid of his Assailant during my turn. Just attack overhit. Then now it's the right time to use my field spell, so reborn my jet and put the Zero Lancer on board with 3700 attack. And then set the movement, since just in case he has a third Necro Valley, I have the movement to destroy it, preventing my my own field spell to be destroyed. Again, something new with the new rulings in the future, since yeah, with both players allowed to have their own field spell. And yeah, now I'm in a very tough position. I think I have double Moralltach and one Beagletech set, and I draw another Beagletech, and that's obviously something you don't want to have. You don't want to draw into your artifacts. I think yeah, all of my artifacts are out of my deck, because at that moment I was still playing triple Moralltach and double Beagletech. Yeah, now it didn't matter that much, but I think it was after this match I eventually dropped both Beagletech, the red ones, for other cards, and of course changed the movements for MSTs. And here is, I don't know what he's playing, maybe a combination between Zexal Weapons and Tyretics. So I interrupt. Yeah, this is why the Theosophy is such an amazing card. Interrupt any possible play, so activate Theosophy to destroy his face-up monster in this case. Attack, he's going to Phoenix Chain. I don't know, probably a waste of Phoenix Chain there. He just should have taken the damage. He's going to Reckless, and eventually he's going to special summon his Stephanie and Sue. Again, pretty much the same scenario. Activate the second Theosophy, again to interrupt any possible play he can make. Destroys Sue, and yeah, obviously end phase the MST his back row, the Mirror Force. Go for Pleiades, so bounce back his face down, not taking any risks. And yeah, this should always be game, so attack with the skull over his monster. And yeah, he's going to scoop here. So GG, the last duel of the video. My opponent is playing Koa'kis, Koa'ki Meirus. They also got some very nice support, as you will see here. Yeah, probably one of the decks I might test in the future. Looking at my hand, again, no disc, although double Theosophy, and that will be pretty important, as you will see. He normal summons his Koa'ki that negates traps, and then he's going to special summon the Koa'ki that negates spells. So on the attack, I'm going to activate Theosophy, try to special summon the Moralltach, but he's going to negate it with his Koa'ki monster, and then on the chain, activate Mirror Force, so he loses his whole field, get wrecked, and then also because the Theosophy was destroyed by an opponent's card effect, I can destroy an extra card. So I'm in complete control of the duel, and eventually I go for a Gear Gigant, because he's playing Koa'ki Meiru, some kind of anti-meta deck, and with Theosophy backed up, I can pretty much interrupt any play, as he will do here. It was also the Koa'ki Meiru that destroys one special summoned monster from the opponent, but yeah, thanks to Theosophy I can interrupt his play. So, good game, off to the deck list. As said, I tried it out with Beagletechs and movements first, but that's not the way you want. You really don't want to draw Beagletechs, and with movement and more artifacts in your main deck, you'll be making more plays that you'll eventually backfire you. Maybe, yeah, special summon more monsters, run into a torrential tribute, for example. And now, is it worth decking the artifact engine, as we call it now, the 3 Moralltach and the 3 Theosophy? I think it definitely is worth the spot. It of course works best in a deck that has the possibility to make rank 5 exceeds, as we have here with Chronomalies and Golden Jet. Other advantages are that you're always hoping that your opponent will either MST or Moralltach or Theosophy to take some nice advantage in a duel with the possibility to go +1 or +2. That seems pretty cheap. Also, the engine itself doesn't really backfire, because as said, you can always set your Moralltach and wait for the opponent to MST it. Theosophy is an excellent card to interrupt any play from the opponent, and cards like Solemn Warning won't help, because if your Theosophy gets warninged, it will activate and you'll get to destroy a card on the field. At this moment it's not that popular, like splashing your so-called artifact engine into any deck, but I've seen people maining it in decks like Bujins for shits and giggles, and actually having good results with it. And that's somewhat problematic, splashing this smaller so-called engine in a deck that wasn't created for, or better, that really doesn't need it, and having amazing results at the same time. Also, you can perfectly play them both at 2. And with the current trend of every deck maining triple upstart goblins, there's certainly a possibility to drop your upstarts for this smaller artifact engine. I mean, yeah, it's just some ideas, but this is definitely something to keep in mind for future releases. It's basically an Abyss Sphere in every deck, and that seems somewhat strange. And with that, yeah, I'm going to end the video. So guys, thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. I'm signing out. Peace.